Hey guys, big ol' welcome back to the channel where I promise I'll probably get hurt at least once per video. Anyways, today as you can see behind me, we're going to be working on this Homelite Stingray again and seeing if we can't get her to run. I know I've said that in the past like couple of videos, but we're going to try. We got everything pretty much down electrically, so the starter works. I'm sorry, we got everything down fuel-wise. The starter works, we got fuel in it. The carburetors are all cleaned up, so now we're going to start working on the electrical system. We have an ignition stator ready to go in it. We're going to see if that might work. And we're also, I noticed in the last video, we had it in gear when we were trying to start it. So we're going to take it out of gear this time as well and see if maybe that might have a reason why it's not starting. Also, this video is going to serve as an announcement. Something big is going to the channel soon, or as some might call it, small, very small. So stay tuned for that, possibly next week, maybe the week after. But hope to see you guys there, and hope you enjoy this video. Hopefully she starts. Alright folks, so for those of you who are following along, you know that we've freed up the starter, replaced the starter solenoid. We've cleaned up this little bowl, and over here we've cleaned up carburetors 1 and 2, and basically besides this bit of fuel line that goes to the gas tank in there, all the fuel lines are brand new. You can see the fuel bubbling there. Not quite sure why, maybe it's the temperature difference. But in the last video we tried to start it where I almost broke my ankle, and it was cranking, but did not sound like it wanted to start. Sounds like we're missing something electrically. So the spark plugs are new. I already replaced those. So basically, if it was the wires, it might start but run on 3 cylinders. So I'm thinking it's probably not the wires. I'm thinking it's probably this ignition capacitor right here, which I have a new one we're going to replace today. If you look under here, you can see the rotor in there. The rotor button looks like it's in good shape, as well as the points here. So I don't think those are really the problem. The cap looks pretty clean in there. It's hard to tell, but I don't really think those should be an issue. They all look decent. So, like I said, I'll get my arm out of there for you. I think it might be this ignition capacitor. That might be the problem. Or this ignition coil. Or possibly that we just had it too far into gear last time when we were trying to start it. The only reason I had it in gear was because anytime it was in neutral, an alarm was going off. So if anyone knows why that alarm might be going off when it's in neutral and you're trying to start it, drop that in the comments below, because I'm not quite sure why. You would think the alarm would go off if it was in gear. So maybe it's like out of adjustment. It's supposed to alarm when it's not in neutral, but for some reason it's alarming in neutral instead of in gear. So I don't know, but we'll try starting it with this rectifier switch, switched over to high and low, see if that might be a problem. But the point of today's video is basically to test the electrical system and see if we can't find out the reason why it doesn't want to start. Alrighty, so we got this new one in here. It's another $13 down the hole. Why? Because this is America. Yeah. Anyways, we're going to hook the battery up. Well, we're going to hook the boat up to my truck's battery because I don't have a battery for this thing yet, because I want to know it's going to run good before I buy a battery for it. But anyways, we're going to hook that up, and then we're going to try it out in neutral and see what happens. So guys, this is the alarm that I'm talking about. So right now we're in forward gear. When you pull it into neutral, you get this. Sounds like a horn, but it's within the throttle box. So if you know what that is, drop that in the comments, because I'm clueless on that one. All right, we are going to give it another go, trying to start this thing. I can see there's fuel in the lines running right up to the carburetors. So we're going to try to crank this in gear first, see if it'll start with the new ignition capacitor, and then we'll move on to the noisy horn in neutral and see if it starts that way. So clear prop. Not enough juice, baby. We're gonna have to get the battery a little bit closer. So we're back, and we switched to a thicker gauge of wire. So let's see if she'll start for us. Sounds like she wants to, but there still sounds like there's no electric getting to the points there. Also not sure how this choke works. Alright, we're going to give you a noise warning here because we're about to put it in neutral and try it that way. So it's about to be noisy for a solid 30 seconds. So it seems like it only wants to start if it's in gear. If you put it into neutral where it horns, it won't crank at all. It like cuts the cranking. So either this thing is out of alignment somehow and it's supposed to alarm when it's in gear and not let it start. Whereas right now it's in gear and it's starting with no alarm. We're going to try starting it now with the rectifier set to low and see if that changes anything. I doubt it. If this doesn't work, the next thing we're going to try, we're going to see if we can locate a coil that would work for this. Looks like a pretty simple coil, so let's find out what happens. Still nothing. So we pulled out the old multimeter and we basically have it hooked up to a ground here, and then this is the wire that was coming out of the top of the coil. And when you have it in there, I'm going to try to do this one-handed. When you have it in there, it's showing voltage. So I know that we're getting juice from that coil. So we're going to try to pull one of these spark plugs and crank it and see if it sparks here. And if it does look like it's sparking, then it may not be an electrical issue. So I'm going to keep testing and find out. Alright, you guys are up. I'm going to leave you here. Tell me if you see any spark when I turn that key. Here we go. I didn't see any, but we're going to try again with this setup. Maybe the wrong spark plugs are being used. This time we're sure not to fail. If we don't see any spark on this one, then absolutely it's an electrical issue. So here we go. So I think we're going to give up for the day. I hate those words, but we're going to have to. But we're going to review what we've done so far. Some of it's been off camera. So basically, I found out why this thing kept honking at me. So you need to flip this lever up, and then it allows you to be in neutral and try to start it. Not sure what that lever does. There's some words here, but you can't really read them. But figured out that problem. So we tried starting again with that lever up in neutral. Still doesn't want to start. So when we come back here, we're going to review what we did today. So basically, we replaced that ignition capacitor over there. Thought maybe that might be the problem. It was a far shot. We tried to start it, didn't work. So basically then, we checked this wire that's coming out of the coil with a multimeter to see if that was hot. It is in fact hot. It's getting spark. Well, it's getting electric. So I don't think that coil's bad. So that leads us further up. We've got the distributor cap here, which could be bad. Because basically, I'm not exactly sure yet how to tell if we're getting spark in here at all. But I'll tell you that I did put a multimeter, and we've checked a couple different ways to see if the spark plugs are sparking. and they are not getting sparked down here, these wires. So we're getting a problem between this main coil wire and basically these spark wires. So the problem lies in between either this distributor cap is not distributing the electric from that main coil there down to the rotor button, or maybe is it it is distributing power and the rotor button's the issue, or is it the points in here? I tried adjusting these points out a little bit to see if maybe that was a problem. Tried starting it, still isn't starting. Pulled the distributor, like the top of it itself, and that's actually pretty simple. I don't think that could be the issue. So I think in the next video, we're going to be replacing this distributor button, hopefully the distributor cap, the wires, and the points in here, and we're going to see if we can get this thing started. So if there's any Homelite pros out there that know about these engines and might know something that I'm missing, like maybe there's some sort of signal wire that's cut, drop that in the comments below. But otherwise, we are going to wrap it up for today. I do apologize that we haven't seen this thing running yet. I really wanted to get it running. It's a nice 70-degree day here out in Pennsylvania, and it'd be cool if we could drop it in the water and see if it sinks. But like I said, join us next week. We have something pretty big, but also small coming to the channel. It's going to be very exciting. Have a lot of plans for it. So, hope to see you guys there. Take care. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later.